Refresh or something. Game's still loading up. Still loading up. Now, mic working?
Yeah.
I mean, on stream. Okay.
Yes, because I accidentally had you turned on. I could hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Because I wasn't seeing the little bars.
Well, I accidentally had that on my phone, so I had to turn you down.
Okay.
So yeah, I know your mic's working.
Okay. Well, while I'm waiting here, I don't know if I can see my own shorts.
Well, or at least what I've seen of Gold's, it puts it up in two formats on your normal one.
I was gonna probably won't show up on mine because. A little rough stuff. All right, like that. I guess. Okay. Yeah, it's just. Then I'll find.
I almost got the field done, but I have an idea of what we're gonna do next, anyways.
Well, I'm. Bagging some products from.
Oh, the dog wants up. Okay.
All right. Maybe finally. Okay. All right. If there's anybody watching, say hello in the chat. Let me know if the audio sounds weird. Oh, I forgot. How do you do the? Yes.
Hold the B button down.
That's right.
Yeah, and these are the same tractors, so they should be on the same widths. Same tractors and same implements, so they should be on the same widths.
Well, and it's running better now. I mean, still not great, but I got it tuned a little bit better. The graphics look acceptable, and I can see, kind of see. I mean, it's still kind of the draw distance short, but not like before where I could. It was like 20, like visibility of like 20 feet in front of me.
Yeah. I've kinda worked on this map over the course of the week. That's how we actually were up to like $450,000, and then I bought these tractors and implements. So
I got 282.
yeah, but I was hustling during the week because I wanted to get to September or get to a different job than where we left it. And actually, I probably should have quit sooner than I did, but because I wasn't thinking at the time till I got almost done with the field. Because if I'd have done what I was thinking now, we would have shared cultivating a big field. But oh well.
Well, before I started this, and it has kind of snowed here today, and I don't know if I told you that. Well, I know I didn't. We got a hot tub, so I just got a hot tub.
Nice.
It's I guess it's not really a real one. It's one of those inflatable, so it's half, but it. Put it this way, I guess its performance has surprised me. Like it. No, I guess I wasn't expecting much, but it's outperformed my expectation.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of nice, especially on the rough day. And then, well, that's why I texted you. I know we mentioned getting back to Fridays, but I have trying to start getting back to the gym like on a more of a schedule. And Tucker starts up where you're I was gonna say gymnastics, but kind of like obstacle thing, and then me and Katie, I'm gonna hit the gym tomorrow. That's why, and I probably wouldn't be back till it'd be late. Let's see, get all that.
Yeah, we're done.
That was it. Okay.
I'm parking.
That is one thing I can't exactly see all the across the, like what. But we'll well, of course, speaking of that, we'll do it next Friday, next, and but then the Friday after that, well, that's the cattle sale, so we'll be back, and so I'll swing by or something, because I got your Christmas present. I
was gonna ask you about that because it's like I never received the package.
I've been meaning and I've been meaning to tell you, because I was gonna ship it, because we got late shipping everybody's gifts. They got them after Christmas, and And Katie forgot to take yours, and I was like, well, I guess we'll just wait till we go to sales. It's something you can use right away. Right away. That, I guess that's all I'll say. You'll understand why. Why.
Mm.
Oh, but anyway, so yeah, we'll get together or run by or.
Okay, our tractors are at the dealership, and I gotta go let the dog in.
Okay.
We aren't going that way.
Well, I just.
Okay. I think we go this way.
Well, anyway, let's cross this up Saturday. Drive back up. Watch it. We made our picks. Who you picking? I got Chase. And I guess I'm going to take a chance that he might just come out swinging.
I never know who to pick in the first one, so I picked Hunter.
Well,
and then
I thought about it. Then I was kind of like, well, maybe he's a little wiser. He's wise, but crashes.
This is a big field, by the way. I set my GPS and then I'm taking off for the far side of the field.
Okay. Yeah, so I got him win it. Like, I think I went him, Sexton. I put Cooper Webb in second. Tomac in third. I got Roxon. I think I did. There's Sabachi or Gordon. I might have those. Taking a chance on Jordan Smith being a rookie, but top 5.
I think I went Hunter, Chase, Jason Anderson.
Hunter. I should have probably put Hunter there, but I was like, well, I really wanted to pick Sabachi and Jordan Smith. Mainly because I think I guess I'm banking on them being a little bit of a.
So I went Chase Sexton and Jason Anderson, and then
I think I have Sabachi in mind. Actually, that's now I'm thinking about.
And then Eli, and then Messenger, and then my wild card is Malcolm.
Okay, I thought about putting Malcolm in, but I think he might do either better than that or worse than that.
Well, the problem is, like, So I like consistency. Like
Well, I do too.
If Jets winning everything, then I'll usually pick him. Or if Chase is winning everything, I'll usually pick him. I like consistency, and so the first race of the year is always so hard for me to pick.
Well, same here, and that's, I guess, why I'm kind of picking. I'm almost picking like spoilers.
I'm just trying to make my, I'm just throwing my best guess out there because, and the only reason I threw Jason in there is because I was listening to the motocross guy at work, and he was like, Jason was on a foul in the moto in France.
Yeah, and he can still be competitive just as Womack can, but I mean both of the. I mean he's older than Womack, and I feel like his time to really. I mean he could still top 5, but he's not outside of.
Well, no, that's why I didn't pick him to win the race.
I'm not. He's not even podium material as much, or because I mean, geez, he was almost up there with Dungey. I mean, that's how old old he is.
Yeah.
That's when he was competitive. He was occasionally giving Dungey. So like.
Well, not only that, but must win.
Well, yeah, must win. So yeah, this
because he actually kind of fell in between those two because like he was at the end of Dungey's era but at the beginning of Musquin's era.
Well, he was always overshadowed by Roxon, and Roxon should have been next thing, but then he got.
Yep.
That really just sent him back. Now he's sort of turned into a Chad Reed, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Windham. Not expected to do well, but will always be in the mix, and then could pull it out. Pull out a big win.
Well, and I kind of feel like Eli's going that way too.
Well, yeah, only, and I don't know as far as from a fan perspective, but I feel like he doesn't. Not going to have the longevity of fans like a Wyndham or eventually Reed. Know what I mean? I don't think we'll think of him like that, even though he's arguable way, spec-wise, or statistic-wise, he's arguably better than them, but I feel like we're in 20 years, like when we're really old, we're not going to necessarily remember him right off the bat. It's like he was in the mix. I mean, he was in the Dungey. He was just beginning in the
I remember that first year because he just kind of Dungey. I think it wasn't that Dungey got hurt, and then all of a sudden Tomac just like took the reins and just.
Well, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, kinda. But then again, he just or it was bike or a combination of both, and it just couldn't completely dominate like he. No, he won championships. Just wasn't. Maybe our eyes are jaded because we have seen people, riders that we'll never see again. McGrath and you're just never gonna that display.
Oh, I still think
we were very young, but in the Bob Hannas, you're just not even that. But then that was a bit of a different era, different style of racing.
I think but I also, I still am thinking that with Jet, we're seeing something
Well, I hope so.
like new that's not in, like that's the next thing after
I hope it's
Carmichael and McGrath.
the new well, maybe a new Carmichael, or at least maybe a new Kraft, but gosh, 7 titles. I mean, as Ricky is, he's only at, I, yeah. I mean, that's still 6, 7. 2, yeah, 2 more champion. He just aged out.
Mm-hmm.
Able to try to match them. Just don't know.
Well,
Jet
and for
is
Jet,
riding, has a different riding, not as robotic as the other.
No, the only thing that's really Jet right now is like he's out for the season.
Yeah. And then I think the racing, somewhat rules. A lot of it technology, bikes, the tracks, and then just everybody, and credit to Carmichael, kinda. But there's others, maybe Millsap. Okay, of this training. That's all you do. You live there.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, I mean, that is how Ricky got his edge. Even in draft days, when draft would screw around or during the week, obviously that stuff. Right, you had Rusty, that stuff. We're all in the race because they were just still having riding fun. Now it's like NFL or NBA players. They can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can, but it's frowned upon if you're going to be. Hey, you can wreck.
Yeah, but Pastrana also kind of changed that because he tried to
Well, he showed that you can have a life outside of racing, and you can make a money at it too.
So FMX and not necessarily focus on Supercross, and then he get hurt doing FMX and.
Of course, Pastrana's a unique case because his heart was more into that free riding. I think he saw the potential there, and along with other riders, and part of that button down part of motocross or supercross. Again, I don't want to say the racing's boring, but it hasn't risen to the level of NASCAR, but it's almost getting there to the point of like less relatable, even to the average rider. It's kind of been that way for a while. And maybe that's age going. I guess I remember back when we were young, kind of thought we could. Well, we didn't quite see, but we could do some races. I mean, some of that was like nowadays. You can't just show up and. Like I haven't been to any local races in a long time, but it was getting to the point where we're seeing more and more of the family. Like, all right, I mean, it's still like Jesse's grassroots. There's pockets in that bigger areas, bigger tracks. Like now it's like we're taking it. Even if their kids aren't gonna go on past it, taking it that serious in the money department. Not that there isn't. riding. Of course there is, but it just seems like racing part, it's a little less casual.
Yeah.
But I still like it. Knocking it. It's different to watch. But I guess you could say that with a lot of sports are getting.
It all depends on what you're in.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm kind of digging. I mean, we're not trying to make a soccer star here, but I'm kind of digging the soccer at this age because the other families and stuff, it's just run them so they're tired later, you know, and they're getting exercise, they're learning teamwork and all that.
Yeah.
All that, but it's at least not the crazy parents. I bashing the whatever on his wall. Maybe we'll see that one in high school. Like right now, it's the right atmosphere, and I feel like that's to be lost on at larger stuff. Try to put on some.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's been a while. I got good water beer. But anyway, we're looking forward to the back in the races.
Yeah.
Kind of a nice unwind on a Saturday. We watch it later so we can fast forward up to the main
Yeah,
event.
well, I don't watch it till either Sunday or Monday, and yes, I watch the just the 450 heats and the 450 championship.
Yeah, well, we'll watch the. But anyway, we kind of loaded up. Pause it. Out. Then you can skip.
Yep. Well, and sometimes I do watch the 250s, but that's only if I heard there was like something awesome that happened during that race.
If we, depends on when it starts. Sometimes we'll watch it. And then that's when we watch the 250 mains, because we kind of have to.
Did I hear right that Hayden actually dropped back down?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I'm in this everything dirt Facebook, and I just kind of look. But I haven't seen posts necessarily about that. Actually, I haven't seen much about the upcoming race. Usually, people are posting ever. So I don't know.
Mm. I thought the
I don't know,
guy,
I
the
don't
guy at
know how
work
he
said
did
that
it.
he moved back down for the season.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Hold on, the dog wants back out again. Pain in the butt. Does she wants back in?
Also, curious if they changed up the broadcast. I doubt they. Not that. I guess I like.
I do, and I like the fact that him and Bubba are actually decent to each other.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it when him and Emig were in there, and he was always digging on Emig.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why, but I didn't like that. The only thing I don't really like about the broadcast team now is the guy they have with them.
Yeah. Well, there was this falling out with the. I didn't even. I what? But anyway, Ricky kind of. Well, and that's why. For this one, I kind of public. I thought. Remember, it was a controversy outside of. I saw the video, and yeah, Ricky was kind of. Okay. But I imagine it's broadcast politics. Somebody else probably wanted him out, so playing them. I don't. I really don't. It was the trackside guy that got that. Yeah, this guy hung that I don't particularly.
The one that's down there, yeah.
Yeah, the guy they had before was better, had more. I don't know, like real work.
What I don't like about this trackside guy that they have. I mean, he's good and everything. You know, it's like I'm him, but every once in a while, we talk about this, and this guy's actually he was teams at the same time towards the end of Ricky's career. He a question about it. And it's like sitting there, if I ever somebody that talk about your experience in their races,
Yeah.
that gets annoying to me because it's like you know he's got experience racing in the pros, but then he's asking Ricky these questions, throwing him this point. And he said that's just that's just it's just supposed to be. It's like kind of it's not fooling me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's always a balance of like trying to ask questions, not sounding dumb, but also asking questions because they always got to assume that they have some new, they're bringing on new viewers that maybe don't know.
Yeah, and I maybe get a little annoyed with that too, but not too much.
I mean, they can tend to do that in football too,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it seems more, but it seems more egregious in this, because it's like, well, I think people can kind of figure out the format,
Well, I should tell you what I heard on the radio this morning, because this is actually kind of related to this, talking about sports announcers and everything. So, Peacock is, I don't know when, but going to experiment with making it so that you can watch a game or whatever with the game sounds, but cut the announcers out.
I heard something about the two. I didn't know I didn't know that it was like a Peacock exclusive.
Yeah,
it sounds like
it sounds like it's kind of in bed. Like it's gonna be.
Well,
it's not. It's gonna be tested. It's gonna be.
Well, do you remember a lot of people back in the day, and maybe you guys did that? Most people, like a Nebraska game, over broadcast back in the day. So over the air, people would mute the TV and turn on, whatever 850, 880. I'm thinking about here. 850, and they're, whoever it was at the time, and I can hear the voice, but I can't remember. The voice of the Husker, whatever. And
yep.
That and that play-by-play, but watch it with the sound up. And I had been over it. I mean, first Swanee did that, John and
yeah,
and such,
yep.
Naturally, but and at first I thought, oh, that's just them. No, I later in life here, like Katie's dad does that, did that.
Mm-hmm. I'll still, well, granted, most of it is because I don't have the channels, but I still listen to radio broadcast over, and then it's even better now because if I happen to miss the game for whatever reason, I can listen to it while I'm at work. Now, granted, I already know what the score is, but I can still listen to it. And then I usually like to listen to what the coach has to say afterwards too, just see what his thoughts were. But
yeah, well, this is back before internet and all that, and it wasn't. I think it was a little more common thing.
Yeah, I mean, so Stuart or Swanson's used to come over to our house a lot for Husker games. We'd go over there. We'd always order pizza and hang out together. And yeah, I mean that was.
I mean, I wasn't a Husker fan, but the thing is, football's football.
Yeah.
I haven't watched football.
Well, college is turned into pro, basically.
Well, and again, I never was a college watcher, but I've heard, I mean, how they can. And, I can't say I'm surprised, and I can't say that I'm okay with it, I guess, but it's sort of changed. It sort of changed the nature of, well, why, why are you really there? I mean, it kind of took away the veil of, oh yeah, that was always the kind of the kind of the the message. Oh man, it's just it's a job, and whatever.
But,
They're good enough. I mean, they got talent. I mean, I can't.
I did because me and this one engineer at my last job, we
But it's
would
going to change dynamics of how you're watching them, how they run the play, or how the athlete play, because they're going to be thinking about their career, not just. I mean, that's one of many that turned me on.
well,
So the rose-colored glasses.
So one of the things, because the engineer I used to work with actually went to UNL as a track athlete, and this was about the time that the NIL started to be talked about, like actually happening and stuff, and he was for it, and I was against it. Well, he did bring up some really, really good points, because he was like, he's like, in football, there's actually really only 7 full rides out of all those players.
Yeah.
He's like, a lot of them either get like free room and board, but they have to pay for their books, or they only get free books and they have to pay for their schooling, or he's like, there's only really 7 of them that actually get a full ride. And he goes, in track, it was even worse. He said they only got 1 or 2 full rides, and then everybody else had to kind of pay their own way. And he's like, and the worst part about that was the ones that got the full rides weren't even from this country, because they were trying to go to Jamaica and get like the fast sprinter.
Oh yeah, well, that sort of tracks with what what the NFL term. This, but, it's like, yeah, most of the I get, but I mean, most of the team that is good, they aren't. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess I shouldn't say it's because I don't know this. We're ever from Nebraska. It's not like they came from some.
Sort of to I shouldn't say start winning, because they've been decent. They've been decent for years before. Just could never the people. The thing is, it's
Yeah.
And most of those walk-ons were from Nebraska.
Well, I guess the other thing that got me out of watching football is just the tribalism of the fans. Honestly, wasn't so much that got to, like, because you're just putting your viewing eyeballs behind a logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then especially with and I'm sure there's other teams. I only ever kind of followed them, and they just got the other fan. Well, and then even to a certain extent, the commentators, kind of like making excuses. Not like, oh, it's the refs, but making excuses for poor coaching decisions, staff choices, things, and nobody wanted to say anything bad about it. And that when making objectively worded decisions at times, and then just people getting, like taking it a little too serious. I get it. That stuff. And you would see it just in the town and the people. Again, I hate to say it, but Husker fans were kind of that way too. But would tie their emotional stability to. I guess that's what kind of got to me. I mean, yeah, we joked about Swanee, but I mean, there's people that are like 10 times you know, like yeah, like their emotional, mental health is tied to how a team that, depending on how you look at it, you know, your tax dollars pay for, you know, but yet you have no control or just to it's entertainment. And then I gotta say, just in the last 5 years, all the, and I know this isn't on the college, like gambling.
Yeah.
Just normalized, you know. I mean, I know it's always happened. Like now, it's just like whatever. Grandma betting on it,
Yep.
how they're marketing it.
Well, and the thing is, like, even if it's
And I don't like that. Yes.
To gamble. The craziest thing to me is it's illegal. That maybe it's illegal, but I would think that they wouldn't offer it if they thought it was going to get them thrown in jail or fined or something, you know. But
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not just this anymore. It's like,
Well, and you know, I listen to some of the morning shows out here. The station brought up all this maybe back in the during the pre. No, and of course I didn't see the game. Don't know. They were kind of explaining how, I forget what might have been. It wasn't a Bronco game. It was. I can't remember the team. I want to say it's the Raiders and somebody else. And the last couple of plays were very odd because, you know, the Raiders, it was like the Raiders lost the way they lost. At, you know, depending on how you bet, there was almost no way. Like, Raider fans didn't lose because as long as you bet a certain way. And then whatever they played was, would have overwhelmingly probably won. That on the other team probably won because he won. So even when a team loses, for betting and play calling, somebody's, you know, it's a little tinfoil hat kind of territory, maybe. But there was a lot of people talking about, that was really odd. They didn't need to run plays like that to those extra yards, right? Even though there's no way they could win, kind of thing. And it was all to just put up stats. So, well, if you bet that Raiders would rush for X amount of yards, they at least got it to theirs. That bet parlays or something. I don't know. Again, I'm missing a lot of the details. It just, again, maybe opened my eyes a little wider to. I've always thought the games were kind of, not fixed, but they're controlled.
Yeah, but
for entertainment, for more advertising, or just to extend the game, to extend the broadcast time, not even the game, the broadcast. Sell more ads, and now with the gambling, it's almost like, well, they're going to control it more. So even when this team's losing, they can manipulate the odds. It's like, well, for this play that doesn't really make sense, but it's like, whatever. I
Well,
mean,
we're not too far removed from the FBI busting those basketball players and the mob for
well,
fixing sport betting. I mean,
well, right,
that
and that's
happened
what
within
this story
that
was
happened in
kind
the
of
last
about.
year.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to. Again, I'm missing tons of details, but there was a story similar to the basketball thing. Only it wasn't like players got in the group, but this would have been more at the, had to have been at like more the top level, like managerial level, radioing down like, hey, make sure kick a field goal from 30 yards rather than 20 yard line or something, because or something like something. See, I've always wondered if the games are been controlled again, get an extra 3-second advertisement, 15 seconds ad spot in there. Oh yeah, tell the ref to oh, I need to review this, even though it's plain as day, whatever he called, or have the reps, loaf a little on things so they can just draw out the broadcast more. But I don't know. Again, that gets into a little bit of tinfoil hat territory. But just with this gambling and the NFL having a bit of a stake in it, that's what makes it wonder. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I see it. Really.
But you're not wrong. It's just that no one really talks about it.
Well, see, that's
talks
the
about
thing,
it.
and I don't have any facts to back it
talks
up,
about
it just
much
feels like
because yeah, I mean it is all just a business to entertain you. I mean technically it's just
it's like it's getting almost like pro wrestling to a small extent.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. Well, and I always knew it was entertainment, but also it still seemed real. Like these guys were playing their hearts out. But then when you kind of saw guys, let up before they even get to the out of bounds, oh yeah, well, they can't win, so save your body. And I just.
I'm gonna go let the dog back in.
Okay.
Well, and that's what, that is what people are kind of wondering with all this NIL and stuff in colleges happening is going to happen. But the thing is, I just heard about this today on the radio too. The reason why Indiana is all of a sudden so good the last couple of years and why they're in the Final Four this year and stuff is because Mark Cuban is paying he not directly, but I mean he's the one supplying the NIL money to that college to go out and get those players and get everything lined up so that they can make a run like that.
See, and I mean, none of these sports are very pure anymore. Well, and then that kind of watch, but okay, we want to talk about Huskers. Like, all right, what is it? The volleyball team, like awesome, and like unless you're a diehard basketball, nobody cares, And that team, that's probably more legit than the football,
Well, that's what. So the joke is the last 3 to 5 years is that we're actually a volleyball state now. But you know what? You know what else besides that? Our men's basketball team is doing awesome. I think they're undefeated, or they've been undefeated. Um, the women's team is doing awesome, and I just heard this stat too. As of right now, Nebraska wins versus losses in all sports versus every college in the nation. We're number one because uh, even though our football team wasn't that great, everybody else has been doing so great that the losses. You know what I mean? Well, granted, I mean football you only play like 10 games or whatever, so you don't have so many losses to outweigh that. But yeah, they're like Nebraska's number one in winning in all sports so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why I've gravitated, like the motorsports, because they're more individual. And granted, some of that is like, well, how fast you want to go, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the driver, the rider, has to get it done. And everybody's on the same track because you've got horsepower. It doesn't always mean you're good to put it to the ground.
In motorsports, they kind of show their personalities.
Yeah.
And then, but they don't really have a, like, I mean, there are storylines in like you see it in Supercross and stuff. There are storylines, but they kind of let the story write itself, and then they just tell that story.
Exactly.
They don't try to manipulate it.
Yeah, well, there's not, well, that's the other thing. Not much you can only manipulate so much of a narrative.
The thing is, like, with the way that with the way the cameras have been and how everything is so spot on and how many cameras are on everything, early, because you hear all the time, well, these refs, they fix this game or they fix that game so that team could win, and like, sometimes you hear like, oh, well, you're just being hypersensitive to that, and then other times it's like, no, maybe there is something to that, and they're just like, they're still trying to hide it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess again, rose-colored glasses came off. I think everybody knows it's entertainment, but they don't realize it's entertainment in the same way a reality show like Survivor it's maybe it's not that controlled, but it's controlled to a point.
Yeah.
But for different reasons.
I don't know that it's that controlled, but at the same time, when you've got 32 owners that make billions of dollars a year,
yeah,
then it's a business and they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
especially the ownership is the one that controls the rules and kind of governs everything.
Yep. Yeah, I guess and here's the thing. There's enough. I think maybe we're in the minority, kind of, just some of the bowl, where some people, or they just don't want to, because that would just kind of ruin their worldviews and just break them. Maybe. obviously, like I said, NFL and presumably college is growing. Like it declined there because of COVID and all. And like I was kind of secretly, like I knew the NFL. And not that I necessarily want it, but I kind of wanted it to get put in its place a little, like so it wouldn't have to take its fans for granted. Kind of did it there because trees. But I kind of liked it. Really liked it. It lost a lot of rate. And it was very slow to come back because it seemed like, and probably the other, and it took their fans. Well, they'll just eat it.
The NBA is a lot. I don't know. Hey,
Well,
I keep hearing on the radio like there's the radio station I listen to for sports in the morning. I mean, they're local to Minneapolis, but they have kind of like a overview worldly or countrywide. They don't just talk about what's. I mean, they talk about what's local, but they also expand it, and they'll talk about not just football, but they'll talk about basketball and they'll talk about hockey. And I think that's probably the biggest part is they actually talk about hockey. For me, but when they get to the NBA, they talk about it, but they're also talking about like when some guy cries over something, they're like, it must be really hard to cry the you're making in a game.
I don't know, maybe it comes to certain sports, certain television, podcast. Maybe I'm just getting a little sick at my old age. Sometimes I have to think of that. Well, you know, and the other stuff going on, AI and whatnot, makes it hard to believe what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
What the motivation, I guess, and it's been this way for a while, but I'm always sometimes thinking about what's the motivation behind this broadcast. I guess that's why I always do like things like the little kind of treats about how them athletes can get there, but sort of take that out. It's like it's still fairly pure, I guess. Except for maybe our athletes, but that's just because our country is kind of that way where we don't really pay our athletes. You know, they have their sponsors, they have their other teams. And
Yeah, like if they're $15,000, they have to rely on their sponsorship money
Yeah.
if they want to make millions.
And I mean, and granted, things a lot have changed, but you know, like have a little bit of insight to this because, like, my dad tried out for back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Things were different, but it was like, you know, you had to have a name, you had money. I mean, he had talent, but that only takes you so far because that you mostly have to pay your own way. But whereas other countries, granted, they're locked in to a certain extent, but they take care of you. They say, lose, you lose your home, almost essentially. In some countries, you know? But like, this is your job. This is all you will let you exist. As long as you're the best, you know.
I've
And in
heard
the
that
skiing
before.
world, that's why, you know, the U.S. never was ever top, top in, especially like downhill. Hey, we didn't have places like they had, right? The mountains are different. And also, there's right, exceptional abilities, but regular people. We're day in, day out paid this. A little different now, but they have to have their sponsors. Just train all. And again, I guess that's kind of circling back to Supercross. Specifically, I'd say Supercross. Kind of getting that way too. It's like, when you got the money, this kid, this is all he does. Until he's 35 and then nothing gold. Hopefully he can find to develop something of kinds.
This is me because it's not just that way in Supercross, but I just got done watching the Tour de France from this last year, and they're kind of the same way. It amazes me, like these people that used to ride in these these events, they end up being a coach, or they end up being like the manager of another team or their team, or it just, I guess in a way it's not any different than a maybe I'm not looking at it right, because it's not any different than the like an NFL player being a turning into a coach when they get to the point where they can't play anymore, or
See, there's only
going
so
back
many
to
coaching. You know?
yeah, but yeah, that's the other thing, is like there's only so many of those jobs. There's like half, not even, probably maybe a tenth of what
Well,
there are for athletes.
yeah. Well, and any go to any high school, hire you, but you're not gonna pay you like getting paid in the end.
Yeah. Well, and then like
there are jobs there. It's just not at the level. Well, that's the sad part about like Supercross. Only top few guys are really making the big bucks. Like, kids kids making even the lowest paid one more money than their parents or grandparents have ever seen. Right?
yes and no.
Well, some of
Yeah,
them.
it depends on where they're from and what their parents do, because I don't remember what the minimum was. It's only in the 100,000s, and if you actually break down what they actually get paid, like the lowest guys actually only make a couple thousand a week, which I know is.
But I guess the thing is, when you're when you're 24 or whatever, they don't. They're not coached how to manage their money, or their agents screw them or something. I mean, I don't like that part about it. It's a little it feels like it's a little predatory. Agents take advantage of kids.
Yeah. Well, I do know a little bit about this. Like the players union, because I've had so many of these, especially the higher named ones that came out of college that went through their money, just blew through it. They had such a problem with it that the players union made the NFL like you have to do some kind of schooling for these people on how to manage their money. You can't just give them hundreds and millions of dollars and then expect these 24-year-olds to know what to do, and and
By almost
so they
40-year-olds probably don't know how to manage it.
so now like when you're a rookie, the first thing you have to do is go to this NFL training class on stuff like that.
I mean, that's a good step in the right direction. Well, hell, financial stuff in regular school too. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete.
Well,
But, I mean,
you know they do. My cousin went to UNL, and he had to, because he's an accountant. He's an accountant. His degree's in accounting, and he couldn't take he couldn't take a certain class with the other kids in this class. He actually had to take this I don't want to call it an off class, but it was on a different time. And he ended up with a lot of the NFL, or not NFL, he ended up with a lot of the college football players that had to take an accounting class. And he said that he got the feeling his accounting class was way different, because it was actually they were trying to say, like, well, if you make $1 million in the NFL here, this is what they were trying to kind of actually teach him back in college then too. But obviously if you're not in accounting, then that's not to everybody. And I don't know if all colleges are like that, but
I don't know, just like it's affecting the entertainment value for me. I guess that's I guess long and short of it. Football side is kind of because it affects how players are, and how the game want to be played and broadcast. I don't follow it at all. Haven't. I don't even know what to think. NASCAR definitely minus. I mean, it's still a big thing, but I mean, it isn't like.
Well, on top of that, like, I didn't follow it. I don't know exactly what happened, but the whole Michael Jordan team, and then he ended up suing NASCAR, and then he won, and now this president, I think it was the president of NASCAR, resigned, I think, a week ago, because he was against Michael Jordan's team, and then he lost the lawsuit, and because of all that, and he had to. I get the feeling that he had to resign. Like, the people that own NASCAR is like, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I think the true glory days are golden, whatever.
Well,
might be gone.
The thing with that, the thing with NASCAR is they keep making the car of tomorrow, and they always supposed to be making advancements, but everybody can see that what they're doing is they're basically making it so that the driver can walk away from a wreck, and they can make the car so that it's gonna wreck.
Well, and that's the thing. I watched this other kind of. Well, I should. Anyway, I guess it was kind of about. Well, it was actually a Dale Earnhardt, and it's about 5 years. Old video now, but that's the thing, is why NASCAR popular it was is, yeah, the wrecks were the thing, but but even if it wasn't a wreck, there was a legit, you know, it was built on the bodies of guys, because there was always that change that they were doing things superhuman, but then also they were taking humongous. I mean, there's other sports, but humongous risks and argue safety. And now they've gone, and the football, you could say, has gone the other way, gone that way too. But yeah, Perp tomorrow, also trying to make all the cars equal and then down to the driver. It's like, well, if I want that, I'll just watch F1, you know, essentially, you know,
yeah,
or like the BMW Cup. They're all in the same car, you know.
But they're also like they can make them handle better. Instead, they're making them so that they, unless you're like on top of it for 500 laps, you're gonna wreck. That's why there's always a wreck, because because they make them so they handle so crappy.
Yeah, but see, that's what NASCAR was built on, was the wrecks. So they're trying to make wrecks that are safe. But then the wrecks are even boring because, again, guys walk away, and not that anybody wants to see anybody die, but there's less stakes, I guess, in the wreck. I mean, sure, they're out of the race, but like, trying to think of ones in the past. But there was wrecks, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, wrecks where they walked, well, they didn't walk away. They had a broken leg or something, but then got in the car next week and raced, you know, and that took heart and all that, you know. Now that's, you know, they literally walk away and then just get into, you know, money, get into their car, and there to go. You know, there's an incentive to wreck and there's an incentive to win. So, wrecks keep people eyeballs, winning, you know, makes the money. But well,
we got 94% chance, or 94% left.
Oh wait,
well, I mean, we're pretty much done, but I think that other side isn't.
Yeah, I didn't do the headlamp. Yeah, there's still the headlamp, but I didn't do it.
I'm just kind of driving along the edge here just to kind of see.
Well, no, there's some of the headlamp. And I think that's another reason why Supercross is still, or kind of maybe always will, draw the eyeballs it does, because it's kind of not a way to make it much safer than outside of making a track so basically.
Mm-hmm.
Not like with the ad.
Well, and now they have that inflatable vest. That
Yeah, that's and I think
that should help too.
No, I think that's good because it doesn't affect the racing. But again, there's still a severe consequence. Now, hurt, but there's still a severe consequence to wrecking, because in motocross or supercross, you wreck. I mean, you don't get there's no coming back unless you get right back up and salvage a few points. But like, you know, if you wad it up, yeah, there's the headlamp.
Yeah, I didn't do any of mine when I was. It'll go around the corner too.
I meant to stop and do them before I was done with it. But yeah, I think that's why sports like motocross, supercross will always have a draw. See, unlike NASCAR.
Yeah, because I never did mine.
Okay.
Because I do.
Well, no.
Since
there's
25
roads here.
Since 25 came out, I do my fields like you would in real life. So I do the middle parts and then I do the edges later. That's one of the things I like about 25 is they've set it up now so that I can do it realistically. Because the way that you used to do it, I did it just because that's the best way it would work in the game, but that wasn't realistic. It always there's always a part of me in the back of my mind that it always bugged me.
Yeah, I guess what you talk going back to the NASCAR. I guess I haven't kept up on car ever stuff. The fact that they're got them so fluent and potentially to an hour they can just out like nothing happened.
Yeah. I don't really watch anymore. I don't even know who really races, but I just know last
like the playoffs and stuff. Like I never watched any of that, but I heard those kind of things. Like, that
well, I thought even when they first started them, I thought they were stupid. I mean, I understand why they were trying to do them, but I think they're stupid. The reason why they started doing them is because during the season they get someone that would be like 200 points ahead, and then towards the end of the season, no one had a hope to catch them, and so then they were thinking that was so boring that like. So they tried to set it up so they had these kind of playoffs to give people incentive. So like if you win the regular season, you may not win the championship. And the thing is, it may not be your fault because you may have got caught up in a wreck and gotten taken out.
Yeah. Well, see, I've watched other video. It's not by the same YouTuber, but it kind of explains some of that. And I believe the good video. I mean, it's long, 45 minutes or what. Good video. It's called like art of the end something along those lines of that. And it kind of brings up like 5 or 6 cases. One of them back in the day. Joey Logano and like Denny Hamlin. Like,
oh, we're done.
Oh.
Yeah, we just got it. Nice.